Right? Okay, the blue just survived, isn't it? Right guys, welcome back to another video. And as you know from a previous shoot, we've done a similar shoot to this one before. But that being said, I had to run it back one more time. Oh yes. And what a perfect opportunity to actually do that with this shoot that I'm going to be sharing with you guys today. In this photo shoot, I'm doing a portfolio update with model Demarkus. This is the second time I'm going to be working with Demarkus this year, so we had to level it up. And with that in mind and lessons learned from the previous shoot, I decided to take it a slightly different direction this time. Our intention for this shoot was we wanted to create something different, completely different from what we did before in terms of our look and the vibe that we're going for. That being said, it was almost ideal and perfect for me to try out this technique as promised from my previous video. So what we did for this setup and this shoot was we added some gel to the mylar. We added some blue gel. Demarkus had a leather trousers, and that really played a part into the actual theme as well. I thought it was like the perfect sort of like attire to try this particular setup. I did attempt this setup using a mixture of continuous light and flash, but I just didn't like the effect the flash was giving, simply because it was just too powerful. It was more powerful than our actual continuous light. I could have maybe raised my f-stop to compensate for that, but I was much more comfortable, if I'm honest. I was much more comfortable with using continuous light. That way what I see is what I was actually getting. In terms of our camera and lens, it's the same combination as always. My 28-75 2.8 Tamron, and that was paired with my Sony a7 IV. In terms of our actual camera setting, I was at f4, shutter speed 100 to 125th of a second, and our ISO was at 500. And for our lighting setup, we're using two lights. One was a 60D daylight balance light. This is the light we added a blue gel to. I also double up the gel on this occasion just to make the intensity of the actual color slightly stronger. I also did one more trick, which I'll tell you about a little bit later as well, to help with this. And for our second light, this was a slightly lower powered light. I think this was between 20 to 40 watts, but this was also another daylight balance light. I started off shooting with auto white balance, and the images were okay, they were fine, but I wondered, what if we changed the white balance to actually match the gels or compensate the gels? So for some of the setup, we tried with shade white balance. That way we got a much warmer tone from the actual daylight light that we were using on camera left. This was the light without the gel, and then the light with the gel, that kind of intensify the actual gel effect. But what I did notice, it changed the blue to a little bit more of a greenish tone, which was okay, and we were quite happy with it, and the result looked really good. But it's not until we did one thing that we fell in love with the images that were coming through the camera, and that was simply changing my white balance from shade to incandescent. Yes, I have never shot in this white balance before. This gives your image a sort of a bluish tone and a bluish feel and vibe to them, and with the gel being blue and the lights being daylight balance, that combination absolutely worked wonders. And this is when we started getting the images that you can see now. This was when we were like, wow, oh, we accidentally created like a perfume ad style shot here, and we just kind of like went all in on that setup. We both agreed that that setup looked a lot better, and it was a lot more eye-catching. It was just something about it. Yeah, it surprised us in a way. We were simply over the moon and completely happy with this setup. I did say I was going to try the setup with gels, and you know what, I'm so happy that Demarkus was absolutely game to try this setup, and I'm very proud and you know, over the moon with the results and the images that we produce with this setup, and the images simply speak for themselves. So yeah, like, this was one of those shoots that I knew I was going to do at some point, because of the excitement from using Mylar from the previous shoot with model Dominica. So given the fact that Demarkus was absolutely game for it, I thought, why not, we go for it. And we were just simply blown away and happy with the image, if I say so myself. If Mylar is something that you have not experienced yet, oh my god, I cannot tell you how much you need to test this thing out. You need to try it out. I've got so many other ideas. I want to plan around using this setup and using Mylar in creative ways to add some spice and some, you know, and some flair to my images, not only to my photography but also to some of my videos, because I am starting to play around a little bit more with video as well, so experimenting a little bit more with video. So I'm looking forward to adding something like this into that workflow to see how I can bring another creative element to any one of my video shoots. So yeah, these are some of the final results. Let me know what you guys think. Thank you for watching, and I will see you for part 2 of this video with Demarkus. So I'll catch you on the other side. Peace.